Frazier and Maestro styles, you know we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, you know Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.
What up, folks? Welcome back. It's a brand new episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. We are streaming live on Twitter, also on Instagram, Twitch, the YouTube channel, and on Facebook Live. Your boy Trey Frazier in the building. Got the homie Maestro Styles here with me.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, fam? How we feeling today?
We good, man. We good, man. Amongst other things, the thing about protecting your mental health and having a proper assessment of your football team is I'm allowed to walk into this podcast Tuesday after that ass whooping we took last night, and not, just like, all right,
Yeah, big news today. Seems like every Tuesday it's big news going back to last week. But hey, rest in peace, John Forte. I just want to throw that out there. I saw
sure.
that. I saw that earlier today. Rest in peace.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so Mike Tomlin steps down after 19 years and Hall of Fame career.
Good for him, man. Good for him. Here's the thing, man. No, I mean, because here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he's the idea that he goes into every year winning season, good roster, whether it's a good roster or bad roster. And I'm not saying that he's perfect or he's had a perfect tenure here in Pittsburgh. But what I am saying is that he's outside of maybe the whole Jacoby Jones incident. What is he's been the consummate professional. Winning team, most players love him. And for the past couple of years, every single year he got to hear about, is he going to coach college, or when the Steelers going to cut him, like as if the Steelers have done everything in there, have made the best moves as far as giving him the best roster, especially since Ben Roethlisberger retired.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's. And it's not like I'm happy for him, man. I am.
It sound like you annoyed with something though.
I'm annoyed with a lot of things, but none of it really has to do with sports podcasting right now.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to. If it was something sports related, hey, this is the time for sure. But but in reference to Mike Tomlin, like I don't think they saw eye to eye on the vision, and he always was the scapegoat for everything that was going on, because he's I don't want to pull race this early in the podcast, but it seemed like successful successful black man that does all the per se right things, and then he gets all the scrutiny, and I'm it just seems like he's always had to do a little bit more than any other coach, in order to be considered one of the best. And I don't know. And I don't know if when we talk about the best coaches, I don't think everybody, for the past 19, 20 years would have considered him, a top 5 coach, which is blasphemous in my personal opinion. I'm not going to go as far to say he was number 1 for 20 years. Like that just wouldn't be the truth. But no,
what I'm saying? But I think throughout his tenure, if you're not talking about him as a top 5 coach and it's not a real conversation for you, that's the problem. I just feel like what I'm saying in the end is he hasn't been getting enough flowers, I feel like, for what he's done. I get it. He should. I think the standard is Super Bowls, and he hasn't won Super Bowls, and he hasn't won playoff games since 2016. I get that. To anybody who says that, no argument here. I get that. I'm just saying
I think the Steelers are going to miss him. I think I'm going to miss him for certain.
Well, and that's kind of the thing. It's the whole because I've been seeing this all over social media this afternoon. It's the whole be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. And I'm not saying you wish that. There's plenty of Steeler fans that have been calling for this guy to be let go, years ago. I mean, earlier in the season, you had a fan base in the stadium. I forget what it was, where they were chanting "Fire Tomlin, Fire Tomlin,"
right,
and stuff like that. So yeah, he's no Coach of the Year awards. I don't believe he's ever won Coach of the Year award, which is really insane to me, given especially the last 6 years, really since Roethlisberger retired. I mean, to put quarterback after quarterback, they tried Kenny Pickett, that didn't go so great. They tried to bring Trubisky in, Russell Wilson, just throwing names out there, Justin Fields, but it seemed like the Band-Aid at the quarterback spot, no matter what, the dude was always winning 9-10 games and, somehow sneaking in the back door of the playoffs. I mean, if that's not, coaching, I don't know what is. So
yeah, I think but I think again, the standard is the standard, right? You think Pittsburgh, you think Super Bowls, and if you're not winning Super Bowls, then what are you doing for real? So again, I'm not mad at the standard, and I'm not mad at people who hold them to the standard and say you're not holding up the standard, good riddance, that type of thing. I just think that there aren't many coaches in the pool that are better than Mike Tomlin. So the message may have gone stale. All the things that we've talked about for years when it comes to Mike Tomlin. I've always been on the fence about should he go or should he not go. I've always been on the fence for on it because I'm like, well, what do we do? What do we do? Like the one thing that I will say, and I don't know if this is a Mike Tomlin thing, right? Offensive coordinators have been absolutely trash since Bruce Arians.
And in fairness, Bruce had Roethlisberger. Just in fairness, he had Roethlisberger.
But Bruce Arians did it in Arizona, I want to say, before that, and did it in Indianapolis after that. So
Carson Palmer, I would say, was better than like I said. You throw out the Justin Fields, the Mitch Trubisky's, the Kenny Pickett's. Carson Palmer was better than those guys.
Well, I'm saying that to say is that we haven't been necessarily quarterbacking. Like when we had the Killer Bees, the defense was absolutely trash. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we some of these things don't necessarily fall on Coach Tomlin, even though he had to be the person to kind of coach and get the best out of his teammates. Out of his players. I'm sorry. It's just like I'm not here to glaze. I just feel like that he wasn't given the best opportunity. When I look at Baltimore, they went and got their franchise quarterback. I look at Cincinnati, they got their franchise quarterback. The caliber of quarterbacks. I mean, hell, Jalen Hurts, he went past Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken, that year. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's just that thing. Like, it's just that thing that we don't. For him to step down, to announce he's stepping down, and if we're to believe I ain't never known him to be a liar. Obviously, I'm not in the offices and all that, but I ain't never known him to be a liar. For him to step down means something was wrong, right? Like that's a safe thing to assume.
I had a theory about why I thought he decided to kind of step down, and it might have something to do with what I mentioned earlier in regards to the underappreciation. You even alluded to it. The underappreciation of what Tomlin has done, despite Omar's moves, despite the lack of having that dude at quarterback, despite, the defense being overpaid, all these things. And yet again, 9 wins, 10 wins, a playoff appearance here and there, and then obviously you get into the playoffs and the results, the past 7 times, it's not even close. Like I think the number is 21 point deficits in every single playoff loss since that title game against New England in 2016, 2017. So I think it's more that he feels underappreciated. If you go back to also the reporter that asked him about the college question, and he referenced, hey, why don't you go ask Andy Reid that question? Why don't you go ask what's his face? Sean Payton. Why don't you ask Sean Payton that question? And he wasn't disrespecting those coaches. He has respect for those guys. He was just trying to make the point that those guys have been in their positions for years, the same as Tomlin, but yet nobody asked Andy Reid about taking a college gig. Nobody asked Sean Payton about taking a college gig. Hell, nobody's asked John Harbaugh about taking a college gig. And you know how I feel about Harbaugh. Like, I'm grateful to have him, early on during his tenure, but things just, down the stretch of your tenure, when you don't meet expectations, these things kind of happen. And I'm not comparing the two in terms of what their situations were. Obviously, Tomlin's overachieved the last several years. Harbaugh's underachieved because you got a 2-time MVP quarterback. And obviously both of those guys will forever be, linked together because of the battles over the years, including playoffs. I think they're like the second most set of group of coaches that have faced off, with each other in the league.
Yeah.
So, there's definitely going to be, those kinds of conversations that come up between those two guys. But all in all, man, just to kind of put a cap on the convo, if you're not, done yet, but at least from my standpoint, a Hall of Fame head coach. And if he decides I compare this to Sean Payton, because Sean Payton stepped down and the Saints had, his rights, his control and all that stuff. And then he did TV for like a couple of years. And then he decided, I'm going to get back into television. But one of the things that had to happen was the Saints had to decide, okay, this is what we want for Sean Payton because we got your rights.
Right.
So if Tomlin decided, I'll take a break or, a year or two and maybe get back into coaching, then the Pittsburgh Steelers have an opportunity to get compensation, for him if he decides, I want to coach this team. And obviously that team would have to give up, whether that's a first round pick, second round pick or whatever. So I could see that happening with him.
I guess what I'm trying to get to, and 9 to 5 was 9 to 5 today. So obviously I saw the news, but I hadn't had time to kind of process what was going on. And so forgive me if I'm asking the question twice, because I'm aware that I'm asking the question twice.
Yeah.
What would make a 20-year coach who, all in all, has given every indication that they like being there, they love the thing, they love coaching, I just can't process why he would want to leave. I can't process why he would want to leave. And so I get to thinking, I get to thinking like, I never cared for the Arthur Smith hiring, the offensive coordinator. Like, I wasn't mad at it, but I never cared about it. Like, when I looked at his offense in Tennessee, Tennessee more so. But sure, Atlanta too, but maybe more so Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. You could put a decent quarterback in there and make some moves. But nothing about Arthur Smith's offense, connotates that we about to score a lot of points.
I think the one thing you knew about Arthur Smith's offenses is that you knew he was going to be committed to running the football. I think that might have been the one little thing that you could point to and say, okay, we need somebody that's going to stay committed to running the ball. And I think Arthur Smith was the guy that was always gonna, no matter what the situation was.
We were also one of the worst rushing teams in the league this year.
Yeah, Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell,
and love him to death.
Solid backs, but not not top 10 guys.
Nobody came off as a number one. I mean, nobody came off as a number one. It was by committee, and essentially offensively, we got by on the know-how or the experience of Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. That's a problem. DK Metcalf underachieved this year. You know what I'm saying? Lord, number 2 receiver. What? Like, what do we like? We don't have a number 2 receiver statistically. I know Calvin Austin is considered the number 2 guy, but I mean, statistically, we don't got a number 2 receiver. Like, all of our offensive stats are down, all of our defensive stats are down, but we opportunistic sacks, turnovers, one of the top turnover teams in the league, and then offensively, Aaron Rodgers just knowing what to do in these situations. If y'all can keep the score close, then that can get us a game or two that we shouldn't get. You know what I'm saying? It
was one of the reasons why last week when we were having a conversation was, of all the teams in the conference, I thought every team equally had a chance at making a run, making a playoff run. I'm not saying that they were going to the Super Bowl. Don't, twist my words. But if you told me they could beat the Texans, I wouldn't be shocked at that. I mean, they were 11 minutes away from doing that if they could have just got, one touchdown, or if they could have just, converted some points off of those 3 turnovers. I mean, CJ Stroud was trying to hand y'all the game for Christ's sake. But not to go off of the, topic of, the coaching stuff, but it sounds to me like all the things you mentioned in regards to the running backs, the defense, and pretty much just the roster stuff.
Yeah, this team was not put together very well.
It sounds like this is an Omar Khan, type of conversation. Like all fingers point to him as being the guy. Hey, man, like what's good, man? What's up?
I wonder what their relationship is, and I don't mean like personal. I mean business. Like we doing a lot that's not really giving us. We're not really burning the fruit that we expected from it. I.e. DK Metcalf. Hell, Jalen Ramsey, and he had a decent year. Considering. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know if we got everything. I don't know if we got the right fruits, considering we paid him $25 million. I mean, for all that, we could have kept Minka Fitzpatrick. Like it's just, I don't know, man. I wonder, and obviously we'll see more news hopefully as it presents itself as far as what happened and what people think happened. Yeah. But I think obviously, to kind of put a button on it, I was obviously surprised. I didn't see it coming, but when I saw it, it's like, okay, I get it. I get it.
Interesting.
I didn't see it coming.
I think I think you're the first person in my wheelhouse that has expressed that you were kind of surprised about it. I think maybe for some folks, I haven't really seen anybody like this. This is like this caught me off guard or anything. Maybe the timing. Maybe like if this announcement came tomorrow, because the Ravens, it took them a couple of days to decide. We're letting John Harbaugh go. And by the way, I found out about Tomlin today. I just happened to have Steve Bisciotti's presser on because it's the first time he's talked since like 8 years or something like that. And one of the reporters, I think it was Mike Preston with the Sun, asked him, hey, if Mike, once Mike Tomlin goes free, he basically was kind of breaking the Tomlin news at the presser, was asking Steve, hey, when Tomlin becomes available, do you think you would give Mike Tomlin an opportunity to coach the Ravens? And Steve was kind of like, hey, he was like, is that official? Like that, and then, that's when I had to kind of look at the, phone and the timeline and, I see all the, Adam Schefter's, the Ian Rappaports and all that stuff. and it was official at that point. But and Steve kind of jokingly said, "Well, look, that's going to be on Eric DeCosta to decide that part." But the owner gave Tomlin his flowers, as you kind of would expect. You go back and forth with the battles all these years and stuff like that. But that's how I got the news earlier today. Was just watching the Ravens presser.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, congratulations to Coach Tomlin. I mean, you ain't got to ask me my favorite coach. I mean, obviously it's only been 3 in like 50, 60 years, but my favorite coach of the 3. I don't know much about Chuck Noll, and I grew up with Bill Cowher, but Tomlin by far has exceeded expectations. Let me not come on here lying. Obviously, I wanted some more Super Bowls, but
of course,
but job well done. Congrats to Coach Tomlin. Don't go to the Baltimore Ravens to please. Don't do that.
Let's not entertain that. Let's not entertain that conversation.
Don't do that.
I didn't even think you were going to even mention it, but it really.
Well, just because you said something about the joke, just because you made the joke. I mean, the truth is that if he wanted to coach this year for real, if he wanted to coach, and there was a situation, I couldn't imagine how y'all would say, "Nah, we don't want Coach Mike Tomlin on coaching your team."
Oh no, of course not. I think because he stepped down and didn't get fired.
Right, I understand. They got rights. I'm just saying in a perfect situation.
Yeah.
If you could get Mike Tomlin, you would want Mike Tomlin like anybody else who needed a coach.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no. Like on the surface, yes. On the surface, yes. I'm just like I said. I'm just thinking about
obviously
situation is, and obviously he's not going to coach next year. He's not I don't even know that. Like Giants, like Giants, Titans, Raiders. Whoever
Falcons,
whoever's looking for. Yeah. I don't think Tomlin's coaching this next year.
Well, I will say this. Steelers, whoever you hire as a head coach, you need to tell that head coach that y'all need to look into getting Raheem Morris on the defense and getting one of these young offensive coordinators or one of these young guys. Don't Arthur Smith me. Don't Mike Sullivan's like these old school. Like, go get somebody young, please. And look forward to trying to find a quarterback of the future, because I can't even imagine Aaron Rodgers is going to play next year without Tomlin. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Let's call his career a wrap. I know it's not official yet,
right?
We obviously know he's going down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks in this generation. In terms of coaches and stuff, I haven't really. So I guess this is an interesting off season for the podcast.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off, because I just thought about it.
Yeah.
New head coach, whatever you do, let's go ahead bring in Mike McDaniel. Just thought about it.
I was just about to throw his name.
Just thought, but I don't want him to be a head coach. I don't want him to be the head coach.
Oh no, me either.
Raheem Morris, Mike McDaniels. I don't know. Bringing Mike McCarthy. I don't know about head coach. I don't even want to think about replacing Mike Tomlin this early, this fast. I need to process this for a couple of days. But I need some top-notch coordinators to come in, and I expect to hear. I'm sorry. I expect to hear Terrell Austin and Arthur Smith being fired.
I will take Brian Flores as a head coach. For me,
yeah, for sure.
For the Ravens,
sure.
I will gladly take.
But nobody's going to hire Brian Flores though. That case is still open.
I know. I know. I'm well aware, and I'm trying not to get my hopes up, too much. Obviously, because of that, case that's going on. I mean, thankfully, he's coaching in the league,
right?
In other cases, they would have blackballed him. So, at least I'm thankful for that he at least gets the opportunity. But yeah, I will take Brian Flores as head coach in a heartbeat. Worst case, if this, thing with the lawsuit is still a thing, defensive coordinator, hell yeah. I'll settle for Brian Flores as a defensive coordinator. But if you give me the opportunity, I will definitely gladly take him as a head coach. So, but congrats to Mike Tomlin, man. Congrats on all-time great coach for him. So, all right. I know I didn't announce this in the beginning here because we were, getting into the news and stuff. But our guest for this evening comes from the Chicago land. Shout out to the Chi-Town folks there. Kristy Love. You can find her. Bears content creator, by the way, folks. You can find her on TikTok, on Instagram, also on Twitter at Kristy Love Media. Kristy, appreciate you coming through, giving us a few minutes of your time. Congratulations on the Bears, pulling off that comeback victory. We definitely gonna talk about that. So, but first, before we get into the game, just kind of talk about what got you into, creating content for the Bears and kind of, obviously you're from Chicago, so we know why you're a Bears fan, but like, when did that love really for the team really set in for you?
Well, it's not like a really great story, in my opinion. I became a sports fan of basketball and football back when I was like 12. During the holidays, you at home doing nothing as a kid. So I just saw the TV, watching TV, and I saw the Bulls playing. I'm like, oh, what's this? So I'm just watching. It was back when they had like Scott Skiles, Ben Gordon, Luau, that team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I got them boys' basketball cards still in my basketball card collection. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a fan back then. So I'm like, okay, who was this? So I watched them like come back from like being down 15 plus. And then I'm like, okay, I kind of like this. It was exciting. So I started watching more and more. And then I came into football. My dad's side is a football family. They're from Canton, Ohio. So the Hall of Fame is out there. My dad went to, I think, Massillon High School out there. So like it was just a football town. Okay. So that came into play. I saw the Bears on TV like I did the Bulls. I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. This is back when we had Lovie Smith, Urlacher, Lance Briggs, the whole nine. I'm like, okay.
Yep. Devin Hester.
Yes, Devin Hester, yes. So I'm like, okay, this is nice. I kept watching and following the game, how they played. This is back when they was like 7-0. They lost their first game. I'm like, okay, I just like the excitement of it. I like how they play hard. I just became a fan just watching. So it's not like special story of, oh, my dad was a coach, or how that could go. It's nothing like that. Nothing like that.
So what got you in the content? What got you in the content creating?
Well,
what made you pick up that phone and say, "Let me talk about"?
I went to school for broadcasting at Full Sail University. I also went to a school in Chicago called Illinois Media School, where we learned how to do radio and television. So I'm like, okay, well, I like sports. I can talk about the game. And then I kind of, I'm a girl, so I like taking selfies and little stuff like that. So I put those two together and I just ran with it. And it's not a lot of females, well, it wasn't back then, a lot of females that would be online talking about sports, period. So I decided to take that lane and just run with it because I feel like I'm a girl. I can give a different maybe perspective of it, from my opinion, and just show other girls they can do the same thing I can do, in my opinion. So, and then TikTok came along and I feel like, TikTok is like the new thing right now. So, it's nothing to just pick up a phone, like you said, and do like a quick 60-second video saying, oh my God, the Bears just beat the Packers, defense, offense, whatever may have you. And then just press send. But I also used to work with a team called Team MBS Media for like 4 or 5 years, where we had a group of writers, video editors, content creators, podcast hosts, the whole nine. So I was doing Bears content with them. I also started to do some WNBA content, and I did cover the All-Star game in Phoenix 2 years ago. Okay. So all of that in a nutshell. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm doing solo dolo.
Hey, sometimes that's the best way to go.
And a lot of people had told me that to try to do it on your own instead of relying through somebody else. I was kind of nervous. I'm like, oh, well, because I used to have my own podcast as well called Fire on the Play. And I kind of stopped doing that because, honestly, in my opinion, I feel like TikTok is the new wave.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my opinion.
I feel you.
So
I was gonna say because I ain't got a TikTok, so
it's
I don't know
okay.
if I'll ever
Everybody,
get one or
it's
not.
not for everybody. It's not for everybody, but yeah. So now it's my first year covering the Bears and the Bulls a little bit, and then when the WNBA come back, doing them on my own, like strictly content. 'Cause I used to write as well. I used to write little articles here and there too. So I'm just trying different things because I've seen people in the same industry that can do it. They can make content consistently over and over and over, and they can get into higher places just by doing that alone.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
So that's what I'm trying to do now. So my goal for this year, because the WNBA All-Stars in Chicago this year. So that is my goal, to try to get back there again and to create content for my channel, which is growing, by the way.
For sure. That's what's up. That's
I
what's
said
up.
a lot, but
I know it's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
Nah,
right.
good stuff. Good stuff right there.
Absolutely.
But I gotta talk about 21-6, right? And it's halftime of the game, and I assume that Bears fans they've seen this multiple times this regular season, right? They get down early, and there's the Iceman Caleb, he's making magic, right? Seriously, what were you thinking when you guys were down 21-6 at half? Because it's the playoffs. It's a totally different type of
it is. I honestly, I was frustrated. I'm like, you know what? We can't keep doing this. And I said that early on because we had now 8 comeback wins this season alone. So I'm like, we can't keep playing from behind the ball every single time because we're predictable. We have a lot of mistakes. In my opinion, Caleb is good, but there's still a disconnect between him and his receivers. Still drop passes, overthrowing, underthrowing. So at the half, I'm thinking, you know what, this is probably a wrap. We could come back, and Bears fans will say it's not over until it's over, literally.
Yeah.
But I thought, Green Bay, they're healthy. They got Jordan Love back. They cooking us right out on offense.
Yeah.
So I think it's over. However, the last 3, 4, 5 minutes of the game started coming back. I'm like, wow, we really did it again. So playing the Rams, we do have an advantage due to the weather. It's going to be like 15 degrees, if that, on Sunday. And I know Stafford is not good in the cold weather, from what I'm hearing, I should say. So we might have an advantage based on that alone. But going into Sunday, we can't. We got to fix those mistakes early.
Yeah, I'm about to say the Rams. I don't think the Rams are gonna play like that. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. So I know you're here for a good time, but not a long time. But let's can you kind of sum up how you feeling? I know it's still kind of the chapter isn't closed per se on the Bears season, but can you kind of give us a synopsis on how you feel about the Bears and how they've done so far?
Yes. So my expectation going into this season was to at least to the wild card, minimum. Good offensive line. We got the big fish in the pond as a head coach. We got receivers. Last year, our defense, I would say, was like a top 10 defense. Maybe the second half of the season, top 10 defense, in my opinion. There's no excuse into why we cannot at least take the North and get to the playoffs. There's no excuse. So I had us winning at least 10 games this season, and we got 11. We won our first playoff game in, 15 years, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So they exceeded my expectations thus far. Anything more is extra, in my opinion. But I really had us winning 10 games. We had to show some improvement because last year was just 10-game losing streak, no coach. The locker room gave up on the coach. It was just a lot. So from going from that to this was a huge jump. Early on, I can tell the players respected Ben Johnson. They respected Dennis Allen. They respected each other. The locker room was close. They was closer together. Last year, like I said earlier, it was a disconnect, and it was really evident between Caleb, DJ Moore, Caleb plays receivers. Plus, he took like 67 sacks. So it was just a lot that we had to fix. And even though I felt like I had maybe a little bit of high expectations, we did it. You know what I'm saying? If we had all of the ingredients, there's no reason why we cannot produce good numbers. And we did. You know, we're not perfect, but we did it. So, like I said, anything from here on out is extra. We're going to
They addressed some of the stuff. I thought they addressed some things. Joe Tooney, getting him in the trade, I thought was pretty huge there. But you said something about the defense last year, and I do kind of remember them being like in that top 10, top 12-ish range. But this year, they're sort of bottom of the league, and I'm trying to figure out why that's the case. Did they lose some guys in free agency, or some guys get hurt?
Yes, we were hurt. We just got back Kyler Gordon. CJ Gardner, he's out the concussion protocol. In my opinion, Montez Sweat wasn't producing. We still need an edge rusher. So it was a lot that was going on with the defense where we kind of like fell. However, I feel like we made up a little bit as far as Kevin Byard. He got like, 8, 9 takeaways? Plus?
Y'all got like 4 guys that's got like at least 7.
Yeah, because y'all definitely lead the league. Lead the league.
Yes, in takeaways, we are. So that's probably why we slipped. There's a lot of injuries, and we still need to address some things as far as like getting an edge rusher. But in my opinion, defense, we're doing okay this year. It's some games where we came out strong, got interceptions, ran in touchdowns. So
yeah, I mean, and even the 49er game too, because I mean, y'all almost were able to come back and win that one. I mean, y'all have had a couple of games where it was Caleb trying to make comebacks and y'all kind of fell short. The first Green Bay matchup, I could think of that game also, but it just seems like this team is just fueled by being down so much at half, and then they turn up in the second half.
Yeah, and I don't understand it, but I saw what Ben Johnson said to the team a few days ago. Never give up. It's something so simple. Never, you down, keep playing, because the game is still not over.
Right.
And I guess they're taking that literally, and they're still finding ways to fight back. But we just can't keep doing different environment. It's playoffs. You got to come out strong. You just have to. So
y'all got a chance to go on a run. Like, I think y'all got I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about like having sustained success, right? So when I see Ben Johnson in his presser, when he gets the job, saying that I love to beat Matt LaFleur, 2 times a year. And he's definitely done that, to this point. I kind of love that thing. I know people been talking about this discourse about the handshakes and all that stuff, but I actually love the fact that Ben Johnson embraces the rivalry. Like, I think there's something that's been missing with, those two back and forth. I mean, it's been one-sided, for so many years. And now it seems like Ben Johnson is accepting and bringing that, intensity to the locker room, into the team, and, embracing the rivalry. So, So, you feel the same way about that. Right?
Absolutely. He's bringing a culture as a whole to the locker room. Our last couple of coaches were wimps. Let's call it what it is. They didn't embrace anything. But Ben Johnson, he brings that toughness, that realness that we need in the locker room. So the fact that he embraces the rivalry between Green Bay and Chicago is everything. It speaks so much volume. So going forward in the next couple of years, we're probably going to beat Green Bay off of that alone. I know I'm saying a lot, but hey.
What's the
might cost that man his job? We'll see.
No,
we'll see.
I
said
so.
I said they might cost that man LaFleur his job, but I don't think so. They trying to work something out. They trying to work something out though.
Yeah.
He's got 1 year left on the deal. They're gonna extend him, I think.
What's the ceiling for Caleb Williams in your mind?
Well, Caleb, I believe he got 4,000 yards this season alone. And he's the first Bears quarterback to do that.
To ever do it.
So, I think he said that early on in the season, and he got it. So that's a ceiling right there. Going forward, I just feel like Caleb Williams, he's good. There's no doubt about it. Just got to work on connecting with his receivers.
Mm.
He overthrows a lot, in my opinion. Work on that as well. And I feel like if he can work that out, I feel like we'll be that much more better. He has gotten better as far as like taking sacks and running into the sacks and then throwing the ball out of bounds if need be. So that's an improvement from last year. However, there's still things he can work on as far as like throwing the ball, in my opinion. I might sound like
how much you think that has to do with the improvisation that he does? So, he makes plays outside the pocket. And obviously receivers have to scramble, and sometimes, there could be some chemistry things going on there. Whereas if he's in the pocket, they're more likely to, connect when he's in the pocket. But a lot of their plays are just, improv as he's leaving the pocket. How much you think that has to do with it?
I feel like probably about like half a little bit, because at the other end of that, the receivers have to do their job as well. So if they have a play and he throws the ball and the receiver just misses the route or just dropped the pass, that's not on him. Mm-hmm. However, on the flip side of that, if he can stay in the pocket and just maybe take your time a little bit and look and see who's open, because I forgot, it was a few games ago. I think it was that game we lost against with Green Bay, and DJ Moore was open on the right side. I feel like if he could have he threw it left, and you know how that went. So if he would have just looked maybe to the right real quick and saw DJ Moore and quickly threw it, we could have won that game. So.
Okay, so let's transition into this weekend and kind of talk about how you see this game going over the weekend.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. Well, like I said before, please, like, it's exciting that the Bears want to keep coming back at the last few minutes, but realistically, we need to come on top because the Rams have a really good offense.
Mm-hmm.
And really they're not
defense.
Huh?
And really good defense.
Although that secondary for the Rams been kind of suspect lately. They've been it's been like that for about a month now.
For a month, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, still, the Bears need to come on top.
Yeah.
Do you see
it happening?
Huh?
Do you see it happening?
Winning?
Do you think y'all gonna beat the Rams?
I think we can beat the Rams. We're at home and we're a tough team at home. I think we lost 2 games at home this whole season.
I don't
Green Bay,
know
and then week 1 against Minnesota.
Look, I'm rooting for y'all because you're here on the show. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna act like.
Are you a Rams fan?
No, no.
Oh.
I know. Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan.
His coach just walked away today.
Yeah. After that ass whipping we took last night, but yeah, but I'm still. But I ain't gonna act like I ain't a fan. But I'm rooting for you because you're on the show. But this is gonna be a task. This is gonna be a task for certain for y'all to come out. This is definitely gonna be a task. And I will even go as far as to say is that while I'm rooting for you, I don't think y'all. I think y'all don't got it. I don't think y'all gonna have a long ride to get home.
Really?
I don't think y'all gonna have a long ride. I think y'all going. I think y'all could just pack up your locker room. Go.
I mean,
after the game, you go pack up your locker room and everybody get home within the next hour. Like we ain't got to worry about no plane ride or nothing.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
However, I don't think so. We have a team. We believe in each other. We have a good. We can get the job done.
Sure. And I'm rooting for you. And you could, Trey, you know the motto, clip it up. I can't, Of course. Maestro does have the Rams winning, even though I'm rooting for you because, who don't want to see Chicago just because we haven't seen them is what I'm saying. Who don't want to see Chicago beat the Rams and actually be in some real, deep in the playoffs. But I just can't. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I see it happening. I don't see it happening. I think. I think the Rams get out of there with the.
It might be another cardiac game.
This game has a chance to be the game of the weekend, though. I mean, when you look at all 4 games, this one here really has got a chance to be the best one of the 4. And so, Maestro, I told we had Super Bowl predictions last week. I said Eagles versus Broncos in the Super Bowl, but now that the Eagles are out, and I'm looking at who's left in the field, particularly in the NFC. I'm rooting for Caleb Williams, man. You know, I'm always rooting for black quarterbacks and all that.
Absolutely.
But legitimately,
I'm not there yet. If we can
legitimately,
win
I think they're gonna beat the Rams on Sunday. And I'm not saying that because you're here, Kristy. I thought about it. I thought about it for 24 hours. I looked at who's left. San Francisco's kind of a wounded duck, even though Shanahan always got them boys playing. Seattle, and that's Maestro, that's your pick, Seattle. I'm great defense, but I'm still shaky about the quarterback. I'm about Darnold. I'm still a little shaky about him.
Really?
I think the Bears going to the Super Bowl. I think the Bears are going to the Super Bowl, bro. And let me be clear. I am contradicting myself because I watched y'all play San Francisco a few weeks ago on a Sunday night, and y'all were trading, scores back and forth. And Maestro, if you remember, I told you I came out of that game thinking to myself, neither one of these teams is getting to the Super Bowl because neither team can stop the other team. Like, it's just like really that back and forth. But now, I mean, I'm looking at the field now, and look, I got questions about the Rams. I think the Rams are a good team, Super Bowl contender, but you said it. It's 15 degrees. It's going to be cold, and that cold changes things when you are LA team. It changes things.
Yeah,
I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win on Sunday, and whoever come out of the other side, I think the Bears. I think the Bears going to the Super Bowl.
Yikes.
Wow.
I'm not saying they're gonna win it. I'm not saying they're gonna win it.
I mean, that's a high enough. That takes us high enough. That takes us high enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not there yet. Like I said, if we win this Sunday, then I'll be fully on board of the Super Bowl. I don't want to say that just yet. I'm not. I don't know. We'll see.
You can say anything you want on this platform.
Yeah. the thing about the barbershop is we say a lot of contradicting things. We'll say something one week and act like we never. Well, I'll say something one week and act like I never said it the next week, and that's what makes sports talk fun because nobody really knows until it happens. So I love to give flagrant bullshit takes. And Trey just gave one, and I don't know if he really believes that, but he said it, so that's what we got to roll with.
Yeah. I went down the ship with the Eagles. I picked the Eagles. They disappointed on Sunday. I went down with the ship. So I obviously,
in my opinion, it wasn't all that this season.
Yeah.
I gave them respect because they're the champs, and you get into the playoffs, things change, and you get your act together. But they just were never to get their act together. And I think AJ Brown is getting traded. Another maybe that's a hot take. Maybe it's not.
That's not a hot take at all.
Oh, okay, yeah,
it's not a hot take at all.
He might get shipped up on out of there. But yeah, I like this Bears team. Like I really like them, and I can't get over the throw he made on 4th down to DJ Moore. I can't get over that.
Yeah. That just shows to me, like I had said earlier, that it's a disconnect, and I still think something is there. That's just me observing.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you make the throw and you make the catch when it matters the most, like get us the win regardless. So that throw was sick.
Yeah.
It was sick.
I mean, Mahomes can make that throw. I don't think anybody else in the league can make that throw.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, rolling to your left and throwing it, the way his body kind of, twerked, as he released the ball.
I think there are more quarterbacks good. Like
I think there's some good quarterbacks that can make that throw though, Trey.
You think so? Okay.
I think Jordan Love is definitely good for that throw. Jordan, he throw off balance at damn near every throw he anytime he
that back foot.
yeah, like he throw but nonetheless a great throw.
Yeah.
Facts.
So I guess we gotta get into the top 5 conversation. Like we said, we know Kristy here for a good time, not a long time. What are we doing? Top 5 Chicago Bears? Is that the conversation?
More Chicago pro
Chicago. Okay.
Chicago sports.
Pardon me, I got to the notes late.
all good, man. Your top 5, Chicago pro sports athletes all time. And remember one thing.
Okay.
It's your list.
Absolutely.
You don't have to. You do not have to list anybody that you ain't never seen play, but maybe the team and the city regards them as royalty. But
absolutely,
it's your list. It's your list.
Don't make this list thinking about who might comment saying that's a trash list.
I don't care if it's a trash list. You can at me and say that. I don't care. All right. The order is crazy. I might say no order. But
no order's fair.
Yeah. I'm a Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose up there. As you might not know, he's getting retired January 31st, I think. It's a retirement game.
Okay.
So that's non-negotiable. Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
You gotta throw a Jordan in there. I'm a Jordan fan.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I
can't wait to meet somebody from Chicago that would actually try to exclude Jordan from that list.
Despite how old they are or how young they are.
They're out there.
They're out there?
Yes. People think LeBron. They'll pick LeBron over Jordan.
Well, yeah, I'm fine with that, but I can't imagine anybody from Chicago, and I ain't been there before, so don't get me the line. This is all speculation. I can't imagine somebody from Chicago's not putting Jordan in a top 5 Chicago list. Yeah. I can't imagine that.
If they are, they hate him.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I could believe it, but yeah, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, very crazy. Okay, so I said Derrick Rose, Michael Jordan. I'm gonna go to the Cubs. Say Derek Lee. If you watch baseball,
okay,
that's interesting because I as I wrote that in the notes, that name did kind of come to mind. Yeah, shout out Derek Lee. Yeah.
Yep. They retired him. I think earlier this year. Also, the Cubs did retire his number.
That's what's up.
Okay. I'm gonna throw Devin Hester in there.
Okay.
From the Bears. That's 4 and last. I'm gonna put Joakim Noah, only because when he played with Derrick Rose, he was the heart of this Bulls team. The heart, the muscle.
My man was ready to fight.
Any given time. He is so respected in Chicago. It's crazy. So I got to put him in there.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that list. I mean,
I like that list.
I'm honestly not mad at that list. I'm honestly, I can't say I'm mad at that list. I mean, I'm a little older. I won't say I saw Walter Payton, but obviously, I can't personally leave Walter Payton out of Yeah, I get you. I get why you wouldn't. Yeah, I get why you wouldn't. But the respect of my ancestors wouldn't allow me to leave Walter Payton out of the list. And even though I didn't watch much of him, I was a younger when he was playing. But I mean, certainly a good list. Nobody can hate on that list.
Definitely a good list. Although I'm thinking about somebody criticizing the list and saying, what about Pippen? And yes, he's second to Jordan, but Pippen was still, Pippen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was still him, absolutely. But it's my list.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Say less. Say less.
No doubt.
But I love Pippen. I love. Don't get it twisted.
No doubt. No doubt. Hey, Kristy, this was fun.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming on here. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media and some of the things you got coming up.
Yes, you guys can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram at I am Kristy Love. You can find me on TikTok at Kristy Love Sports. I'm making content about the Bears. We're in the playoffs right now. And then once that ends, Hopefully no time soon. I'll be switching over to the Bulls. We're kind of trash right now. It is what it is. And then soon we are. And then
no argument here. But
like
so
was 5-0 or 6-0 at one point.
We started off strong, but I knew it was a fluke. They do this every single year. Once they settle into what's really what it is, we start playing trash. Now Kobe White's hurt. Our coach, I cannot stand Billy Donovan. Anyway,
don't worry. I'm a Wizards fan, so don't worry.
You said you were who?
A Wizards fan.
Ooh.
Yeah, so don't worry.
You ain't get that Trey Young jersey yet, man.
Man, stop playing me, bro.
I don't know why you're a Wizards fan, but okay.
Yeah. Well, just because I'm from DC. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. My bad.
Yeah. All good. No, yeah. Yep.
Sorry.
Just is what it is. If it wasn't for my grandfather, I'd probably be a Commanders fan. So that. So
yeah.
Well, go ahead, Kristy. What?
Yep. And then I'll be switching over to the WNBA soon. I'll be doing Chicago Sky, and I also do the Phoenix Mercury as well. So, yep. Follow me.
That's what's up. Mm-hmm. Hey, look, we appreciate you coming on, and we will see you in them internet streets.
That's right. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Right, for sure. Be safe.
See you.
All right, bye.
Good stuff right there from Kristy Love. Follow her on TikTok and all the social media platforms, on IG as well. And she's on Twitter, but she doesn't use it like she normally does. But she's mostly on TikTok and Instagram. So good stuff from her. I just wanted to shout out some people in the chat, man. Our boy HRAD B, who's also a Chicago, native right there. Yeah, yes sir. Shout out to you, man. Also, Mike Patton's in the building. What's going on? What's going on, homie? Right there. I saw somebody. The homie Dre Day right here. We had him on last year. What's going on, man? What's going on? Appreciate everybody in here. And shout out to the thousands of viewers on our YouTube channel. We've been getting a whole lot of subscribers over the last week, with some of the content we put out from last week's show, discussing the Steelers Texans game, playoffs and all that stuff, man. I think we done got like almost 4,000, views of, all of our reels and stuff like that. So I want to shout out to everybody
views, for sure.
that's been tuning in, man. So
for sure.
When
I don't know where you was going, but
yeah, what's up?
Is Nick Sirianni and AJ Brown? Are they just competitive, like Tom Brady said in the broadcast, or is it something really going on? Because the way Slim ran up to AJ Brown, like he was his size, or like
they was about to shoot the fair one. Yeah.
Like, that made me a little uncomfortable. And and I'm like, damn, Tom Brady, bro, you ain't have to just lie, bro. You didn't look at that. And you didn't look at that, and maybe he did. He, he been in the league. He done it for years. Obviously, you didn't look at that and feel like, oh, that's just competitiveness. You felt like they had an issue.
Because I'm trying to think if Belichick ever ran up to Brady like that, and I don't recall that. You know what I'm saying?
Brady might have ran up to Belichick a couple times on some.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Like I've seen Travis Kelce bump Andy Reid, several different moments, but no, I think the answer is both. Like, two things can be true. Like, yeah, I mean,
that ain't got shit to do with competitiveness.
What?
I think that whatever that exchange was had nothing to do with being competitive. I think.
That's fair.
Maybe it stems. Okay, let me backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe it stems. AJ Brown been having this issue all year, some of last year. If he not getting the ball enough, he want to know why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I don't know how much that has to do with competitiveness as opposed to the whole stigma that's on wide receivers. It's like, hey, I want the ball. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't get the ball, and especially if I don't get the ball and we losing, I'm gonna have an issue. But here's the thing. Hey, bro, y'all was dropping shit like
facts
left and right. I mean, it's funny because I remember when we talked about this maybe earlier in the year, and we was talking about how he was saying he wasn't getting targets, and then we went back and looked at the numbers. Like, yo, you got the targets, you wasn't making the catches. You know what I'm saying? So so for this to still be a thing, over a year, because this didn't start this season. This started like last season. So for this to still be a thing with AJ Brown is very interesting to me. Maybe 2 seasons now, because he read the book last year, right? Last season, right?
He read the book. Yeah, they won the Super Bowl the year he
was
on
reading
the
the
sideline
book.
reading the book. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing right now as far as AJ Brown? Because it's like you're not going to chill, and it's clearly y'all didn't had conversations, and it's like
he went the ball.
And on top of that, not for nothing, it's not like they don't have a number one receiver on the other side of the ball. So I'm not saying you wouldn't miss AJ Brown. I'm just saying you could go find a cheaper wide receiver and let Devontae Smith be the number one.
Not for nothing, you got Saquon freaking Barkley, dog. Like, and I'm going back to last year, dog. Yeah. Like, when that thing working, and I'm talking about the run game, when it's working, hey, dog, it's gonna be weeks, man. You probably get 3-4 targets, for 50 yards, man. It is what it is, man. Like, y'all winning games. Y'all won a championship, and even you notice his demeanor after he won. It just seemed like it wasn't like the bowl wasn't satisfying for him enough.
I don't remember what he looked like, so I'm not going.
He was kind of like, yeah, we got the bowl, but like it seemed like something was missing out of his life or something like that.
I don't know what his contract looked like, but I'm assuming his contract has incentives in it, and and maybe he's trying to re-up and get another contract. So I can imagine that this is kind of maybe what his POV is like, hey, y'all gonna have to throw me the ball, because when I come asking for money, y'all gonna throw these stats in my face and be like, well, you're not really affecting the team for us to get that, for you to get that kind of money, whatever the market is at the time when it's time for him to get another contract. I feel like he was on a 3-year deal. Don't give me the line, but I feel like he was on a 3-year deal. So something should be coming up soon.
Well, when he got traded, they gave him an extension.
Right. But he was making 25 because he was making 25. He's making 25 a year right now.
Right. So this is year 4 for him with this team, right?
With this team, yeah.
Yeah.
So it got to be some. It's got to be extension time, and you know what? That's what I'm saying. That's the hill I die on, because he probably wanted to get extended last year.
Probably.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Some wide receivers got paid. Since he's been the $25 million man, and it's like, yo, I could definitely see a situation where he such and such got this. Like, hey, I was gonna say Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase just got the bag, and he figures, hey man, I'm just as good as Jamar Chase, whether that's true or not, but I'm sure he believes that.
Yeah, he believes he can match the market. I guess if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Like, when it's his time,
yeah,
he'll be able to negotiate getting that type of deal. Yeah, I could see that. Jamar is in a similar situation too, right? Because T. Higgins is a number one, right? Devontae Smith is also a number one. It's like it's mirroring those two situations too.
And you paid your quarterback, and they paid Hurts recently.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's the conversation. I'll die on that hill. Like he acting up because they playing with his money. He want his money now.
Well, guess what? Somebody else gonna give him that money, because I think he's gonna get traded this offseason. That's just a prediction. I think I think they just fired the offensive coordinator earlier today.
Yeah.
And it looked rightfully so, man.
Because he wasn't a good offensive coordinator. Yeah.
He wasn't good. No, he wasn't good at all. And I mean, with the Mike McDaniels out there and some of these other names that the Kevin Stefanskis, like there's gonna be options for the Eagles, to find a coordinator. So
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, nope. No repeat for the Eagles this year. Shout out to the 49ers, man. I've been saying all season, man, like this team is lurking. Like it's like they do this. They get in the playoffs and they win games, even when they're not like at their best, right? Like they're not, Super Bowl contenders, but they just like a good 10-win, 11-win team. In this case, they won 12 games. They just continue to find ways, man. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, you talk about coach of the year, and there's some good candidates out there with, Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, and Mike Vrabel. Shanahan, if he win it, dog, I got no issues with him winning it.
Well, I thought, but it's a regular season award though, so it's not like they.
No, sure, yeah. But the players have been injured all throughout the regular season. I mean, Brock Purdy missed 8-9 games.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, it's not that I don't see your argument. It's just that they've been so under the radar, and I can't see him getting it. Just because they've been so under the radar. Seattle is probably.
Ain't that the point of it though? Ain't that kind of the point?
They say no, it's not, because I think to win Coach of the Year, you have to obviously be winning games, but you also have to throughout the season be touted that they're making impressive wins. And I'm not saying they haven't had impressive wins and injuries and all those things. It's kind of he's closer to a Mike Tomlin having a good year type of coach than a Liam Cohen having a good year type of coach. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Meaning because Kyle Shanahan has been so good for so long, this is the norm for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like for Kyle Shanahan to win 12 games, it's almost expected of the 49ers at this stage of the game to win 12 games. And it's not like any of these wins were like media darling stories to cover where they had this amazing win, which
they can't control, by the way. Like
I get it, but I'm just talking about in terms of winning the award. You know what I'm saying? There are just better stories this year.
It's driven by the stories throughout the year. I get that part.
Yeah, there's just better stories.
That part I get, but they can't control whether the media flies them under the radar.
Can't get the award.
Give them praise. You know what I'm saying?
You can't get the award. It's funny because when we was talking about Tomlin, and I won't stay there long, but there was that one year where we were like 0-4, and Tomlin kind of got us back to a winning, and that was the closest that I feel like he was ever to winning Coach of the Year. But it was just it just wasn't, I guess, story driven enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
and it could also be about who else was hot at the time too. Exactly, it could be about that also.
Exactly.
It's some good this year. It's some great candidates this year. I mean,
I can't imagine him winning over Liam Cohen.
He won't win it. He won't win it. Yeah, he won't win it. But I would vouch for him to be in that like serious conversation to win it. But it's going to be hard because you got three guys three guys turned around 4-win teams this past season,
and they didn't win a division.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's true. It's a tough NFC West out there. So yeah. Shout out to the 49ers. For going on the road in a tough place to play in the playoffs against the champs, and knock them out. Blessings to George Kittle, torn Achilles, and we kind of know what that means for future being able to play next year. He may not be able to suit up week 1 for this coming year, so they're gonna have to move on without him. But look, they got a good chance. I think they have a good chance in Seattle this weekend. Seattle deserves to be the favorite in this game, but it's a situation where two teams know each other very well. It's part 3. I think anything can happen in this game. I know where you stand at because you're going to stick with your, with your prediction. I'm still trying to think about who I'm gonna pick with that one, so I'll save that a little bit later there.
Let's get into Jacksonville, bro. That's what I want to get into. I want to hear you. I want to hear your thoughts on Jacksonville. Because it feels like, I'm not saying this is your thought, but it feels like you were a little high on them last week. not necessarily.
I was. Yeah, no, I won't sugarcoat that. So we were. This was more of a Jacksonville versus New England kind of a conversation, if I remember last week, because we were talking about who do we fear more, Jacksonville or New England.
Oh yeah.
You said you feared New England more.
Yeah.
I kind of disagreed with it just because they were coming off the 8-game win streak, to finish out the regular season. New England, while they won, I think 10 games in a row or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't with New England, and I'll just stick on New England for a second. Them losing to Buffalo to win the East, maybe 3-4 weeks ago before the season ended, that was like the game to win the division and stuff. They blew a 21-0 lead at home to the Bills. And I get it's the Bills. I get that, right? But that kind of, to me, that's a big deal, bro. Like, I know
disagree.
I know it's regular season and all that, but to me, that's a big deal, especially knowing that's a team you might see in the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was more recent for me. That's why I picked Jacksonville as I thought the team that you fear more, kind of going into the playoffs. Now, two things can be true, right? Jacksonville, they could be the hottest team getting into the playoffs. At the same time, they drew the team that everybody thinks is going to win the AFC. If the Buffalo Bills. I think most people think that.
I
Buffalo
think
Bills.
That. So yeah.
Right. I think the majority of people think the Bills are going to go on a run to the Super Bowl. They talk about the lack of the Chiefs, Ravens, and to a certain extent Joe Burrow not being in this tournament, and people feel like, hey, this is Josh's year to finally get there. This is the year to do it, despite this not being the best Buffalo team. We've seen some better Buffalo teams in the past. This team here, no Stephon Diggs. The run defense is not as great as it once was some years ago. Secondary is still okay, things like that. But I will praise Josh Allen because he won that game.
Yeah.
He himself, got beat up and all that stuff. I think he twisted a leg. In the red zone,
injured his finger.
He
had 3-4 injuries. You feel like in
hit his head. I think they took him to the blue tent. I think at one point, he won that game, and all praise is due to Josh Allen for doing that. I think what was frustrating with Jacksonville, and look, Jacksonville, they had their moments, to win this game. I thought Trevor Lawrence was shaky throughout the game, which is why I thought them running the ball, they got away from what was working. As you watch that game live, they had that kid, the backup running back,
or whatever,
Tootin, something like that.
Yeah,
they gave him the ball 3 straight times, and that dude was averaging about almost 12 yards a carry. I mean, and ETN, when he got the ball, he was averaging about 6-7 yards a carry. But it seemed like every time they got to the red zone, it was throw. Let's roll out Trevor Lawrence. Let's call a run play for Trevor Lawrence. And it's like, I'm like, what are y'all doing? What the hell are y'all doing? Y'all just gashing this team for like 20 yards a pop, and y'all keep trying to make this dude throw. And look, all praises due to Trevor Lawrence and everything, but just in that game particularly,
what are we praising? What are we praising Trevor Lawrence for?
No, regular season. For the regular season.
Okay.
For the regular season play. For the regular season play. But in this game in particular, I swear to you, there was about maybe 4 or 5 passes he threw that could have legit been interceptions. This dude could have legit had 6-7 interceptions in this game. He was shaky throughout the entire game, I thought, which is why I thought you give your running backs the ball, take some pressure off him, let him ease a little bit better into making his throws when he has to make throws. At the end of the day, he threw touchdowns when touchdowns had to be thrown. I think they took 2 4-point leads in the fourth quarter, but Josh Allen had an answer every time. Every time Josh Allen had an answer. And the one throw that he made, where he had pressure in his face and what's the name was like wide open down the field, I thought that was kind of like the play of the game there.
You talking about Brandon Cooks, the bomb?
Yes, that one. That one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was the play of the game there, to get them to go ahead, take the lead there. And how about this what was it, the 9-yard tush push?
I mean, I can sum this game up rather quickly. And for me, man, it's really much. Nothing changed from what I said last week, man, or what I've been saying all year, really. And again, regular season, cool. That's what's up, But I just ain't believe them, bro. I don't believe them, bro. Like I didn't. I guess for the sake of being wrong, I'd have been cool with being wrong for. Jacksonville fans out there who got an issue with me saying what I'm saying, because I can't quite put my finger on it. But I mean, it's like, we talking about Jacoby Myers, a number 1 wide receiver. What are we talking about? We talking about
again. When Trevor had to score, he scored. You know what I'm saying? If you want to put some of it on the defense, I'm good with that.
Oh yeah, I was going there. I was getting there. I was going there because shout out to Hines Allen, who is a good pass rusher. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. But is he that guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah. I like Devin Lloyd. Yeah, I like Devin Lloyd as a linebacker, but is he that guy? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's just they not ready yet. I guess that at the end of the day, that's all I be saying about them. It's not to say they won't ever get there. I don't know if they will. I don't know if they won't. I just know when I looked at that team, and again, I looked at them maybe 3 good times. That's not a Super Bowl team. That's not a team that's going to dark horse in the playoffs and sneak and all of a sudden be in the AFC Championship. Well, I don't even think they was going to sneak and be in the AFC Championship. I don't think they were going to shock any of the other teams that look like dominant teams in the league. And even on that win streak, right? Like as we went through it week by week, nobody looked at the Jacksonville Jaguars and said, "Man, this is a top tier team in the league in the AFC." We respect the run. It was more like a novelty.
I think toward the end there. I think toward the end, because kind of like San Francisco, where they were quiet, they were quietly winning games. Jacksonville was quietly winning games, and I think there was a level of disrespect for a minute there. I think going into the Denver game where where Sean Payton made the comment about, it's a small market team and all this stuff, and Jacksonville kind of took that as like, fuel, for the game, and they went into Denver and they beat one of the hottest teams at that time, and I guess it depends on how you feel about the Denver Broncos. I know some people are split with that team, but they were one of the hottest teams at the time. And Jacksonville went in their house and they beat them. It's a quality win within an 8-game win streak. You know what I'm saying?
So again, because I know we've been having this conversation pretty much all year about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, it's not me. This is not me saying they didn't have quality wins. It's just that after you had those quality wins, nobody looked at them and said, "Oh shit, like this is really a good team." We looked at them and congratulated them having quality wins, which we should congratulate them for having quality wins. Yeah. But it's not like nobody ever looked at this team and said, "Yo, this team is next level. Like this team is a top tier team in the AFC." When you talked about teams in the AFC, the conversation was still Broncos, Patriots, obviously Kansas City and
Do you think it has to do with it just there in Jacksonville? Do you think it has something to do with
that?
No,
I think it has to do with it. Not if you're talking about just being in Jacksonville, Florida. No, I think I think that we the Trevor Lawrence experience has been inconsistent. So
Agreed.
you know what I'm saying. So it's
Agreed.
not like we going like they had it. He had a good year. He had a bad year. He had a good, you know what I'm saying, that type of thing. And it's like, okay, we just need to see more consistency for us to feel like, okay, this is one of them teams. Because even like with like we talk about the Denver and New England, right?
Yeah.
Nobody saw them being this good this season. Let's be very clear.
Yeah, for sure.
But we definitely left the end of last year thinking about Denver like, oh, that's a team on the come up.
Right, because they made the playoffs last year.
Because they made the playoffs.
They were trying to build off of
good
what
defense,
they did last year.
Bo Nix was, you know what I'm saying, like good coaching, obviously.
Sure.
Like we sat there and said, like, okay, nobody saw them being this, but we definitely looked at them and said, that's a team on the come up. We looked at New England and said, maybe, you know, you do this, you do that.
Said maybe.
Yeah, you do this, you do that. But we know they play tough defense. You know, and people believe that Drake May could at some point become something. You know, it was kind of unproven. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at least we knew they can hang their head on defense. So it's not necessarily saying when we talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars for the past 2, 3, 4 years, it's just if Trevor Lawrence is good, then they're good. And if Trevor Lawrence isn't good, then they're not good.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing. So it's like even when you try to compare them to like San Fran, but we know what San Fran is. Even if their wins don't dictate, we know the type of pedigree.
There's a pedigree. There's a resume. There's a little bit of a history there. Because even if you bring up New England, right? Because it seems like with New England, and look, I think they legit had a great year. Great regular season, legitimately. But it's just something about when you hear the word Patriots. And you hear the word,
it's still a little
great
bit
years.
Belichick and Tom Brady.
There's some of that,
There's some residue left over.
There's some residue from that.
Yeah.
With Jacksonville, the residue is, well, they're good every 4 or 5 seasons. Like you go back a couple seasons ago, when Trevor Lawrence made the playoffs for the first time, the following year, they was 8-3, and then they fell off the face of the earth. They collapsed down the stretch.
Yeah.
You go back 5 seasons ago, prior to that, that was the Bortles year where they knocked y'all out the playoffs, and the year that Jalen Ramsey was saying we're gonna win that bitch when they got to the AFC Championship game. The following year, they smacked the Patriots, I think, week 2 or week 3 of that season, and then they fell off. And so
inconsistency.
There's inconsistency there, and I'll be honest with you. This offseason, I won't blame Jaguars fans for feeling pessimistic about what to expect next year, because all they know is we have these out of nowhere seasons, and then we just don't know how to back that up.
Yeah,
so I can understand that.
But I could also understand them being optimistic because you feel like in Liam Cohen, you got a good coach.
Right. And you feel like you got a good general manager, which the previous one was not.
Exactly.
There was, that same guy was in San Francisco when they had Kaepernick and them guys, and that he showed that he wasn't a good general manager. So when you can get Liam and that guy on the same page coming in together the same year, you can build off something. So yeah, there's an optimism there, but it's gonna take
They got
some Jags fans.
For some to address.
For sure. I actually saw somebody post this yesterday, and they said that Travis Hunter's injury was sort of a blessing in disguise, in a sense that they wouldn't have been able to realize how good that kid Washington was, number 11, for Jacksonville. And he was good. Not saying that he's a number 1 or he's that special, but they were able to unlock Washington in that offense, and it helped the other guys around them be more fluid, which kind of contributed to their 8-game win streak. So now there's a conversation about when Travis Hunter comes back, should he be mostly on defense? Because obviously you can point to the playoff game, and you could have used the Travis Hunter back there in the secondary on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like, those kinds of conversations are happening.
I'm calling Philadelphia saying if I give you Jacoby Myers in the third, will y'all give me AJ Brown?
And you say Jacoby Myers because he's the guy that's got the more value of the wide receivers. Okay, yeah. Nope, I got you. I got you. Yeah, for sure. But congrats to the Bills. Congrats to the Bills for sure. I wanted to talk just briefly, just a little bit of Panthers. Just shout out to Bryce Young, balled out in that game. It seems like all these games had like a similar theme in the fourth quarter, where touchdowns was being traded back and forth here. Same thing in this Panther-Rams game with Bryce Young and Matt Stafford. Bryce Young, he answered the call on those 2 drives to take 2 leads, but Matt Stafford is just that guy. It's just that really simple for me. So
and shout out to the Panthers who played tough and all those things, but they got some shit to address. Shout out to the Panthers.
For sure. 5th-year option is being picked up. They just announced that earlier today for Bryce Young.
But they need to go ahead and sign him. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, sure.
He might mess around and be better than he was this year.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Mike Jackson, the cornerback for the Panthers, because he made some big plays in that game too. And if they didn't lose what's his face for that last drive, they might have been able to stop him there. And what's his name? Jalen Coker had 140 something yards receiving, had a really good game there. Yeah, really, really good game there for sure. Nothing really much to talk about with the Chargers. We kind of saw this happening. I mean, it got a little interesting. It was 3-6, for a while, but man, they beat that dude up, bro. They beat up Justin Herbert really bad, man. So
way to take advantage of both of their tackles being out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's that kind of a thing, right? Like, but I'll be honest with you, and good win for the Patriots. Good that Drake May got his first playoff win, but I can't say that I was thoroughly impressed with their performance. I saw a little bit of jitters with the quarterback, took some sacks, a couple turnovers, things like that. So,
but made the throw when he needed to make the throw.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Just needed a couple of throws here and there.
But don't worry, I'm not saying I'm not that Drake May guy that's like, yo, he's going to be the second coming. Like,
Yeah.
He's playing good football right now.
Yep.
Shout out to him.
No, for sure. Got it. They drew a good matchup. I think it's just as it might just be as simple as they just drew a good matchup, man.
But be clear, I don't have them going to the Super Bowl either. So
nope. No, sir. No, sir.
Matter of fact, I think they done this week.
You know what I was thinking, man? When we make these picks and stuff like that, I was thinking, man, I think every pick I make this week for these games, I think you're gonna go opposite. Okay. But I think you just said that you think the Patriots going home. I think that's the only one that we agree on so far. I think the other 3 games, I think we're really gonna differ on.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, we kind of talked about all the playoff games pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Like we kind of got through everything.
Yeah.
Do you care to talk about this Trey Young trade? It's your team.
Look, I'll tell you this. I don't expect what you shout out to them for making a move, I guess, but it's like he's going to score points. He's going to bring excitement.
Is he going to play? Is he going to play?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you one thing. There's rumors that we're trying to go get Sabonis from Sacramento. Now
interesting.
Now you pull Sabonis off and Trey Young with this young core. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not talking about nothing this year. But I mean, hell, you pull that off, and it's not like we don't got the space. We don't got the money. We got money to get to pull this off. I feel like so. We pull that off. Hey, I turn up a little bit for next year.
So I only got 2 thoughts with the Trey Young trade. So one of them does involve the Knicks in a little bit. I'll tell you why in a second. But my first thought was he chose DC because he knows he can get an extension from the Wizards. Because Atlanta wasn't willing to give him, the extension. And really, Jalen Johnson's been balling lately. Some of the other players they have.
Yeah.
While he was, trying to nurse the injury, Hawks have been playing some pretty good ball. I mean, I know they're not, up in the standings, but they played pretty well without him. And I think the decision was quite fairly easy for both sides to just say, hey, man, let's just make this happen. So I think he chose DC because I think he knows he can get an extension there.
It's kind of a similar thing, not to cut you off, but it's kind of a similar thing when Jordan Poole was here, right? It's like there's nobody around here that really want to turn this city up. So he's going to pretty much whenever he gets healthy, he's going to have the keys to kind of do whatever he wants to do, and everybody just going to have to follow suit. When I heard somebody, I forget who it was on social media, call him a poor man Steph Curry, which he's been kind of touted that since he came into the league.
I was gonna say, that's been a thing
he's been
for
kind
a
of
while.
touted that since he came into the league. But it was 2 Live Stews. I heard them say it. Shout out to them. But they were saying it, and I was like, I forgot that those was the very comparisons when he came into the league. There aren't many teams in the league that's going to just say, here's the ball, do what you want. And DC is definitely one of the teams that's going to be like, hey, bro, we ain't got nothing going on for real over here. Come over here and do what you want. Maybe you can get us a 45-point game and steal a victory somewhere. Give us something to cheer about one night or a couple of nights out the season once you get healthy. And we got money to pay you, so we'll pay you some money. If you could, and if we could bring somebody to run with you, like i.e. Sabonis.
That's what I was getting to, because you bring up Jordan Poole and you say it's sort of a similar situation, but I kind of see it slightly different in the sense that Trey Young, an all-star. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a 4-time all-star. Like,
obviously.
Yeah,
but
I would think dudes will want to go play with Trey Young.
Well, I don't know if I feel that way, but the reason why I brought up the Jordan Poole situation is just because we know Jordan Poole can score, and we don't have a dominant scorer in Washington. Yeah. Trey Young is a dominant scorer, or can be a dominant scorer, and there's nobody else around that really wants to score 30. You know what I'm saying? Trey Young's going to average 25 and up.
Yeah.
In Washington, if he's healthy and doing what
he ain't gonna play no defense, but he gonna give you
right. And we got enough guys willing to play defense. We get one more guy that's willing to score, 20. You know what I'm saying? And now we having a conversation. I.e. a Domantas Sabonis, where you could kind of run pick and roll. Like now we talking about something, and that could be beneficial. We got good young guys in Bilal Coulibaly and what's my man's Alex Sarr. You know what I'm saying? I think he might have to come off the bench now, but you know what I'm saying? We got young guys that can play. It's just a matter of, hey, we need somebody that's going to, actually be able to compete in the Eastern Conference. Sabonis and Trey Young, if we can pull that rumor off, that's interesting to me.
Right. So I bring the Knicks up in a situation because the Knicks, I believe, are entitled to a pick that I think the Wizards have. I could be getting that wrong, but it's one of the reasons why there were stories out there about the Wizards possibly just sitting Trey Young for the rest of the year. Because if they're as bad enough as, they are in the standings, then the Knicks aren't entitled to the pick. Right. If the Wizards finish a certain level, then the Knicks would be able to get the pick. So that's what I kind of got interesting out of the trade. I don't really, care all that much. I my Knicks timeline, people are like, oh, they're tanking, da da da. It's like, guys, calm down. Like, like this is the least of the Knicks' worries right now. You know what I'm saying? Let them do what they do. It's the Wizards. let them do what they do. They got an all-star. I truthfully, I hope it worked out for y'all. Like if he decides to sit the rest of the year, cool. But beyond that, I hope it worked out for y'all.
I need an actual number 1 draft pick. So because again, and this is me just doing a whole bunch of wishing and hoping and praying. We pull off Sabonis. We got Trey Young. We get let's say we get a top 3 pick in the lottery, where we can go get a wingman that can score. Come on, man! Like, come on, man! Now we talk.
Alex Sarr plays well with them right now. And you talked about if the Sabonis thing becomes a reality. I guess you'd have to package Sarr in that deal, right? Like,
don't give me the line. I trust Will Dawkins. That's what I'll say. I trust Will Dawkins to make something that makes sense. Because I don't want to see Sarr go just because I believe he can become something. Same thing with Koulibaly. Like defensively, I think we need him. I mean, the odd man out might be like a Bub Carrington, and I like Bub Carrington, but he might be like the odd person.
His stock is kind of low right now.
Yeah, you know exactly. I mean? He hasn't had the best season. And hell, look, get going. We got McCollum out of here. Let's go and get Chris Mills and old ass out of here too, man. Somebody take him for a chicken sandwich. Shit.
Yeah. But I only mentioned Sarr because they play him and Sabonis. They play the same position, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
but I'm sure there'd be no issue moving him to power forward.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if that was
he's not the biggest guy, but I do think he would come off the bench. He's not the biggest guy. Like he's probably more forward anyway. Like as far as size anyway.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If they were to do something like that, I could see that being the case. Just to keep him. Like that's your that's your draft pick. You know what I mean?
In my perfect world, if my starting 5 looked like Sabonis, Alex Sarr, Koulibaly at the 3. Wingman, draft pick, top 3 draft pick at this, and then Trey Young at the point guard. I'll take that. Get a couple bench players, obviously, but that's and we are going to miss Corey Kispert, by the way. We are going that who else?
He was in that deal too, right?
You're right. Who also left in that deal? We're going to miss him, but. So, but that starting 5, that wishful dream starting 5, like I would take that with a couple of bench players and see how we would fare as far
and y'all
as
got that twin. Y'all got that twin on y'all team too. Champagne. Y'all still got him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Don't get me down into the 8th and 9th man on the Wizards bench right now. Don't do that to me.
Oh man. All right, man. Let's get into some divisional round picks, man. Let's start with Saturday's games with Buffalo at Denver. Looks like Buffalo's favored by 1.5 in this game. I know where you're going with it because you're sticking with the Super Bowl pick. I gotta stick with the Broncos. I picked the Broncos to rep the AFC, so I'm certainly going to stick with that. I'll say this about the Bills, though, because like I said before, Josh Allen, won that game for him this past weekend. But if they really want to go on a run, like a real run to the Super Bowl, bro, they need a James Cook game. And I'm talking like they need 23 carries, 140-something yards, 2 touchdowns. They got to take some pressure off of Josh Allen because their path could literally be from one good defense in Jacksonville to a great defense in Denver to potentially a greater defense in the Texans if the Texans handle business on the other end. Yeah. And he's already beat up. Yeah. He need help, bro. If they want to get to where they want to get to, he need help.
I agree. He need help, but I mean. I've known only one person that really took him out, and that's Patrick Mahomes when it mattered.
Yeah, no, sure, no, for sure. And Deshaun Watson when he was a puppy, but
sure, but well,
All right, San Francisco and Seattle. How we feeling about that? That's right. Seahawks is your pick. I'm gonna call an upset here. Now I'm not saying they're going to the Super Bowl, but
because you picked Chicago to go to the Super Bowl.
Yes, I did. I did. I had to reconfigure the stuff. The Eagles is out, so I had to change plans here. Yeah, I look, man. It's like I talked about before, man. When you know somebody, you know their tendencies, and you plan them for a third time. These kinds of things happen in these situations. It's playoffs. It's coaching is gonna matter, scheme is gonna matter, like pressure, like all that stuff matters, man. And I look, Brock Purdy, for what it's worth, he had a good game in Philly the other day. And McCaffrey too. McCaffrey, shout out to him. They gonna need another effort out of those guys because Kittle's not gonna be there to do it. But I think they could pull the upset off in Seattle. So I'm going with the Niners, but their run is gonna stop next weekend after this one.
Right.
They do this. They in the playoffs. They get to the title game. Ever since Shanahan's been the coach, they get to the playoffs. The ceiling's a title game. They've never lost in a wild card round.
Or
never lost in a divisional round.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm gonna run with it, man. I'm gonna run with it. All right, Texans at the Patriots. New England, I think, is favored in this one, but how you feeling about it?
I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah, me too, man. I think Drake May's gonna get put on his back a lot. Pause. You know what nobody's talked about a lot with Drake May and really the Patriots this year, but they've given up a lot of sacks on their offensive line this year. It's been kind of underrated there, but you saw some of it with the Chargers. The Chargers got a really good defense. That's really was the one unit on the Chargers that was really worth, even mentioning there. But they're gonna have a rough go of it, I think, on Sunday with the Texans, bro. As long as CJ protect the ball better, bro. Like I'm watching last night and I'm just saying to myself, yo, CJ, I don't want to put you in this category, bro, but you kind of in that Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson category, the way you just, turning the ball over and just making these these ill-advised throws. Like he got to stop that because he gonna waste a great opportunity for this team to get to a Super Bowl. That's a championship defense right there.
Yeah, we agree, dude. The good thing he on a champion. The good thing he got a championship defense to play with.
Yeah, for sure. And we got to see what's going to be up with Nico Collins because he went out with a concussion last night, and they got a short week, and we don't know if he's going to be ready for that. So we'll see what happens there. And then game of the week, man, to me, Bears hosting the Rams in Chicago. You like the Rams, I take it.
I do.
Okay. All right. Give me the Bears, bro. Give me the Bears.
Super Bowl.
I take everything back that I said about Bears 49ers in the regular season matchup. I take everything back I said.
Right. So the Bears and the Broncos in the Super Bowl for you.
Bears and the Broncos in the Super Bowl for me. Yes, sir.
Interesting.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. But hey, man, your pick is still alive, man.
Yep.
It's still alive.
I still feel good about him too.
Yeah. No, you should. You should, man. We'll see how Seattle comes out this week. This will be the first time we've seen them in a couple weeks, so we will definitely see that for sure, man. Hey, quick shout out to everybody in the chats, man. I see everybody in the YouTube, Instagram live chats, man. We just appreciate all the support. I see my guy Vernon Hadnot in the IG live chat. Dre Day, 1985. Paula Barrio 123. I see you. I see y'all in the chats. Appreciate everybody. Continue to follow us on social media. Click the like button on the Facebook page. Click the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. And also, by the way, with YouTube, and I shouted you folks out earlier in the show. Look, as we do these lives on YouTube, click the like button as we're doing lives, because it's really important that we get these likes up and we get this notoriety. It all works well for us. We appreciate, again, everybody tuning into the reels on a weekly basis. Subscribers is up. We appreciate everything that that you guys do to listen to us, watch us. Also, follow us on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also follow us on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. If you got questions, comments, hit us up on the email at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. So hopefully we get some great games this weekend. We'll be back next week to recap it all and look forward to who's going to the Super Bowl after that. So love, peace, and happiness to everybody out there. And as always, mind your damn business.
Drink some water.
Oh yeah, we got him. Trey, Frazier, and Maestro Styles, we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, Styles making the cut, cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.